Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. I know it has been a minute since I've brought a message to you. I sincerely apologize for that. The last time we spoke was the fall feast, and here we are with the spring feast approaching here soon. So let's start it off right. Hallelujah. All right. So a lot has gone on since then. My family and I had went out to Arkansas for this last Sukkot. We were out there with Zach from New to Torah. Spent the week out there, the 8 days for Sukkot. Since then, my eldest son has gotten married, which was great. I was able to minister that. My son Joshua Jr. and his beautiful wife Cindy. So just to kind of fill you in with a couple things that have happened since then. Nonetheless, we are going to be discussing the upcoming feast. There's a lot of different calendars out there. There's a lot of people that have different perspectives on the biblical calendar. So what I would say is I would rather keep the wrong day with the right heart than keep the right day with the wrong heart. Meaning, let's say I understand the calendar completely correct, but I'm going to condemn others that see it differently, don't understand it the way I do. It's kind of like the name. People understand the name differently. We should not be that way. Some people have already celebrated Passover. They keep to a solar calendar, which I don't agree with. But hey, people are trying their best to understand the calendar, to keep the proper days, and that is what it's all about. When Messiah comes back, when Yeshua comes back, he will set us all straight. And I can guarantee you that none of us, not a one of us, will be right about everything. Not going to happen. So we need to be humble, pursue truth, pursue accuracy within the truth. But, at the same time, like, if we ain't loving one another, what are we doing? Right? So today, I believe, is Yom, meaning day in Hebrew, 25 of the 12th month. So the new moon should be able to be spotted this coming Wednesday, the 22nd of March, I believe it is. There was a time that I went off the new moon spotting from Jerusalem, something I can't verify for myself. So to me, just reasoning, to me, it makes more sense to spot the new moon for myself from where we are scattered, throughout the world. So anyhow, the new moon should be able to be spotted. I go off the crescent of the moon. There's some that go off a blank moon. Look, if that's the way you understand it, if you are new to this, you're new to the feast, you've never, kept Passover or anything like that, I would say to, find a ministry, do the best you can, and, study these things out. And over time, you'll have a better understanding and, do what makes sense to you. So anyways, with the new moon being on March 22nd, that Wednesday would be the new year. So that would put the upcoming feast, Passover, Unleavened Bread, and First Fruits. Passover would be the night of the evening. Okay, so Passover, I believe, is a meal and not a day. So Passover is the 14th day of the month, which would technically be April 4th at evening would start the 14th day to April 5th at evening would be the end of the 14th day. Even with this, there's some that celebrate the Passover at the beginning of the day, some that celebrate it at the end of the day. Look, if you're, like I said, for mostly for those that are new to this, if you've never done this, don't overthink it, don't stress yourself out over it. The fact that you are trying to honor the Father's biblical holy days is an accomplishment within itself, and we are allowed to grow in grace, and next year you'll be a little better at it, so on and so forth. So the way we do it is we keep the Passover the end of the 14th day. To me, that's what makes the most sense. An example would be the Day of Atonement. You have it beginning the evening of the ninth day to the evening of the 10th day of the seventh month, which the holy day is the 10th day, but it starts the evening of the ninth day. So when you think of Passover on the 14th day at evening, that is leading up into the 15th day. So we will be celebrating the Passover the evening of April 5th. Okay. That first day of the week of Unleavened Bread, that starts the week of Unleavened Bread, from the 5th at sundown to the 6th at sundown, is a high Sabbath. It is a day where we are commanded not to work, not to cause others to work, so on and so forth. And then the feast will continue, the week of Unleavened Bread will continue until the evening of April 12th. Okay, that will be when the week of Unleavened Bread comes to an end. We will put another video together going into more details about these feasts and whatnot. The day of first fruits, the day Christ resurrected, is the evening of April 8th to the evening of April 9th. That would be a Sunday. That is first fruits. That is when we begin to count the Omer. So those are the dates that, for these spring feasts that are upcoming. Something else I wanted to kind of touch base on is priorities. Is our priorities example, something that made me think was a month ago or however long ago it was a Sunday, and I was working, and I'm a 49ers fan. The 49ers were playing that day. Okay, and I'm working, and I'm trying to be done and stop working in time to get home and watch the game. We probably waste a lot of time involving ourselves with sports, and that's a whole nother story. Anyhow, I was thinking, what time do I need to stop working to be home to watch this game? And it just kind of made me think, like, I was self-reflecting, like, and I definitely think I try too, but do I prioritize the weekly Sabbath, the holy days, the high Sabbaths? Do I prioritize these? Because here's a game that really means nothing. In reality, it's vanity. It's a waste of time. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. But I'm kind of prioritizing getting home to watch it, to observe it. And it just kind of made me think, like, I better be doing even more for, the things of God, for his commandments, things that truly do matter. And then, from self-reflecting, kind of wanting to bring it to you guys, I believe that when we are newer to this walk, like, there's levels to this, right? If you're brand new to this walk, priorities to you compared to somebody who's however many years in, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, those priorities are going to look a little different. Someone who's brand new to this walk, just, you know, realizing, hey, I should keep these commands, and I should keep Passover, something like that. Like that's great. Well done. That's excellent. You know, Years down the road, you know, hey, I should be trying to, do this a little bit. How can I keep this day even better? How can I set apart the Sabbath even more? How can I, those priorities look a little different depending on where someone is in this walk. So, I just would encourage all of you guys to, kind of self-reflect um, and think about this. This applies to all of us. No one is above this. No one has all their priorities straight without a doubt, never fail, never mess up, never come short, because then you're perfect. And we should be striving for that. But let's not kid ourselves, right? We can always be perfected. We can always grow in grace, um, and what have you. So priorities. Let me speak to those that have been on this walk for a little while, for some time. Unleavened bread, the first day of unleavened bread, the 5th at sundown, April 5th at sundown to April 6th at sundown. That is a high Sabbath. The 7th day of unleavened bread, the 11th at sundown to the 12th at sundown, that is a high Sabbath. I am personally blessed. I'm self-employed, so I won't be working those days. If I worked for a company, um, and I had these type of issues, it may lead me to having to find a new profession. I don't know. You know, and I'm not trying to condemn anyone. I'm not trying to call out anyone. I'm just saying, like, we gotta prioritize God's ways above our own. Um, you know, Same with the weekly Sabbath. It could be anything, eating clean, prioritizing that, um, just a lot of aspects of our life, entertainment. What do we watch? Just, you name it. You could apply that to pretty much anything. So, I just wanted to, put that in the air, um, give you guys something to consider. Like I said, we'll put another teaching together, go into maybe some things we do to celebrate Passover. It is a meal. It is a covenant meal. It's a very important meal. I would not share this meal with unbelievers. In the New Testament, it talks about eating of the meal unworthily. So we definitely don't want to do that or partake in someone else doing that unknowingly. My family and I, we do eat lamb. We do have the unleavened bread, the bitter herbs, um, first fruits that Sunday following that Shabbat, the April 8th to the 9th. It is not a high Sabbath. Me personally, I wouldn't work that day anyways, just trying to spend time with family, reflect, celebrate, what have you. But so those are the dates. Passover, the meal would be the evening of April 5th. That starts the week of unleavened bread. The high Sabbath is from the 5th to the 6th at sundown, sundown the 5th, sundown on the 6th. That's a week-long thing. And then it concludes April 12th at sundown. And there's a high Sabbath on April 11th to April 12th. First fruits, April 8th at sundown to April 9th at sundown. And that begins the counting of the Omer, leading to Shavuot or Pentecost. Um, you know, and like Paul said, let's keep the feast. Um, you know, Love you guys. Hope you've had a blessed day, and until next time.